Hello, and welcome back to another Dokkan battle video. So last night, only on the JP side, by the way, because once again, the global side is incompetent, we did get information on two new EZA characters, both of the Part 2 Worldwide, 2021 characters? The Namek Saga Worldwide characters are EZA, both Part 2 LRs. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that they're bad, and I've already read their kits, so I know what they do. And I just, I really want to dive into this, because, I want to know what would make these units better in people's minds. And I've been reading a lot of people's comments on them, and I'm like, I just don't agree with a lot of the stuff. But let's just go ahead and take a look at them for you guys, and then we can go ahead and go with that. So this is Vegeta here. His leader skills, whatever, it doesn't matter really. But greatly raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to enemy. Raises attack and defense for 3 turns, causes mega colossal damage to enemy. That's fine. I don't have any issues with that. The only issue with this, the big issue, is that they're both melees, and he's int. So unless you have a domain up, he's not going to be able to actually hit Gogeta until the domain is up, or until he transforms, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. He gets Ki +3 and attack and defense 180% at the start of turn, plus an additional Ki +4 and reduces damage received by 30% when HP is 30% or more at the start of turn, which is good. It's not amazing, but it is something. Plus an additional Ki +4 and attack. And launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack if HP is 50% or more at the start of turn. You're going to have that up, so that's nice. Just as a guaranteed additional attack that has a 50% chance to be a super attack. Ki +4 and launches another additional attack that's a great chance of becoming a super attack if HP is 70% or more at the start of turn. Again, you're probably going to have that active as well. So now you're having up to 4 super attacks per turn, which is going to be doing decent damage. Plus an additional attack and defense 150% when attacking if HP is 50% or less at the start character's attacking turn, or starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, revives with 70% HP recovered by exchanging with Goku when the character or an ally attacking in the same turn is KO'd. So that's pretty good. It's legitimately, the biggest buff here is the fact that they essentially fixed the revive condition, right? Because before, I believe, let me pull this up actually. The easiest way is probably through here, because we can get to Namek real quick. The very easiest way... Oh, yeah, here they are right here. The easiest way for this to, kind of function before was you had to be below 29% HP, right? And Vegeta had no stats if you ever fell below that, HP threshold of 30%. You just died, right? And now it being above or below 50% is significantly easier, as well as having a turn counter as well, where it's once you hit the 5th turn, you're going to be able to fuse or revive, and regardless, and you'll just have that up. So that that is legitimately a big buff to this Vegeta. So I do like that a lot. Makes his revive significantly easier. Greatly raises. This is Goku, by the way. After you go into Goku, greatly raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn, causes also damage to enemy. Raises attack and defense for 3 turns, causes mega colossal damage to enemy. Literally same super attack effects. I think if you wanted to make this unit better, right, the easiest way to do that is to just swap these 2 super attack effects. You swap these 2 effects, and they're significantly better, because then Vegeta's going to be able to get multiple procs of this, right? And that's just going to make his defense all around just a lot tighter. Because we'll look at his defense. We have the Halvard calcs somewhere in here. Yeah. Right, so here's Vegeta's defense, about 1.3 with 30% damage reduction, and then Goku gets up to about 1.23, right? So it's not amazing, but we'll get to why it's like that. Ki +10, attacking defense 200%, plus an additional attacking defense 159% when performing a super attack, reduces damage received by 30%, high chance of performing a critical hit, plus an additional Ki +5 and attack plus 59% when there is an extreme class enemy, plus an additional damage reduction of 30%, performs a critical hit when there is a Namek Saga or Planet Namek Saga category ally, the category enemy or ally attacking in the same turn. So, I saw people saying that condition is really bad, but are you gonna be running this character not on Namek Saga? Right? Because they're not on uncontrollable power, so you're not running them on that Broly team, right? I guess you could run them on Tech UI's team, I guess. That is a thing you could do. This is not a real team. Vegeta, if you're running this Vegeta, you might have, this guy. And then I think, the main want for this unit is to be able to be ran next to this Vegeta, right? And they can link together. They share links. Like you can link them up together because this character isn't technically just base Vegeta. It's Vegeta / Goku, so you can run them next to each other. At least it should work, right? So they're gonna be able to link well. And if you're gonna run the character, you're probably running them alongside this Vegeta, and you're gonna get all the stats up, and then you're gonna be able to kind of pop out a little bit, right? So I think it will be fine, right? Having that Namek Saga restriction, especially because you're gonna be running them probably on a Namek Saga team. And then you're going to have 60% damage reduction with about 1.23 million defense while having a guaranteed crit. Now, Goku does not have an additional super attack, like, at all, baked into his kit, right? So getting that additional super attack will just give you another 50% attack and 30% defense, which is nice. It's not a lot, but it is nice. Again, I think, the best way to improve this character, give Goku an additional at all, somewhere in here, right? Like, this high chance to crit, if that was... launches an additional attack with a high chance to be a super attack instead, because he already has guaranteed crit, right? We don't need to have him with 2 different forms of crit. We don't need that, right? If this was an additional and then you flipped his super attack effects, he's a lot better, like significantly better, because then he'll be probably hovering around like 1.7, 1.8, 1.9 million defense, right? With 60% damage reduction, he's like perfectly fine. Like he's cooking, right? Especially for a slot 2, slot 3 character. Yeah, this guy's cooking. Right, but like still right now, I think he's solid. I think he's not going to be like the worst thing ever. I think you're going to be able to get some use out of them. They are at least good and runnable. Next, we have the Krillin and Gohan. Now, I actually defended this unit when they came out because I always kind of thought that they were performing roughly similar to the Vegeta, and a lot of people didn't think so, but I always did think so. And now it's just like I think they're just better. So we'll get into them real quick here. So they get 30, or they get attack and defense. They stack attack and defense on 12 key, and then they greatly stack attack and defense on 18 key. This is the pre-armor form. 170% attack and defense at the start of turn. Medium chance to evade enemies' attacks. Key +1 per key sphere obtained, plus an additional key +1 per rainbow key sphere obtained, plus an additional attack and defense 50% and chance of evading enemies' attacks, plus 20% when performing a super attack, plus an additional attack plus 50% and launches an additional attack that's a high chance of becoming a super attack when key is 18 or more. Launches an additional super attack and chance of evading enemies' attacks plus 20% when key is 24. So you really, really want to get them to 24 key. That way you're going to not only have more stacking, like from their actual 12 key, getting the guaranteed additional super attacks, but you're also going to be able to get more dodge. And of course, all these are like additive. So you're going to have your base 30%, then you're going to get the 20% from performing a super attack, and you're going to get the other 20% from being at 24 key. That puts you at 70% dodge while stacking. They're going to hit decently hard. I think this is like a perfectly fine base form. Again, we do have their stats as well here, right? Their base form with support, they can get up to 2 million with 70% dodge in their base form. Like, obviously, this is with a couple stacks, 6 super attack effect stacks, and some support, but like, that's still pretty damn good. Like, yeah, it's treated as 2 18 keys and 4 12 keys, which is definitely doable because you have this one right here, high chance of becoming a super attack, and then launches an additional super attack, right? You're almost gonna guaranteed get either 3 or 4 super attacks within a turn. So I think this is pretty damn solid for like a base form. And then they go into their armor mode, which I don't believe is something that they could change. I'm not entirely sure about that. Let me just actually check, because I feel like that's something that we kind of do need to look at. Because their armor condition before changes into the battle suit upon entering the next attacking turn after performing 4 or more super attacks. Also, they're going to change like immediately. So actually, it'd be better if you didn't get 4 super attacks turn 1. If you only got 3 and then you got another 3, that would be better for them than if you got 4 turn 1, because then you would be able to get more stacks in and you wouldn't have to worry about getting the armor on, because they don't stack anymore in their armor. In their armor, they get 50% attack and 30% defense for 1 turn, and then they get massive, and they get 100% attack and 50% defense for 1 turn on their 18 key. So like, their super attack effects do change. Now, these aren't bad super attack effects at all, right? But like, it's not stacking, so you could like kind of squeeze out more defense from them if you fail to get that like hidden potential system additional super attack, or if you fail to get the 50% chance one. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think it's very good design, but it is interesting. Attack enemies plus 200%, high chance of evading enemies' attacks. Key +2 per key sphere obtained, plus an additional key +1 per rainbow key sphere obtained, plus an additional attack and even 58% in chance of hitting enemies' attacks, plus 20% when performing a super attack, so they're already at 70% dodge, by the way. Plus an additional attack plus 77%, and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack when key is 18 or more. Launches an additional super attack and chance of performing a critical hit plus 30% when key is 24. Again, I think this unit is solid. I think I don't really have any issues with them. They're a dodge unit that gets up to respectable defensive numbers. I don't have any issues with this. I've seen people call them bad, and I'm like, what are we talking about? This is a unit with 70% dodge chance, over 2 million defense, and they're gonna be hitting decently hard. The only issue with them is the fact that they're not on a whole lot of teams. That's literally the only problem. If they were on more teams, then this unit would be significantly better. But they're still pretty damn strong for what they are. Now I can't run them on a 200% league because I don't have either of these characters. Right? I didn't pull for Gohan. I didn't pull for Vegeta. Right? I don't have either of them. I can't do anything with that. But I'm just gonna say I think that they're pretty damn good. Now I don't know how good they are gonna be in comparison to some other characters. I think if I was going to rank them amongst the other EZA LRs, if we're talking stuff like Tech LR Broly and those kind of characters, it gets kind of hard to really kind of think about it. I think they're in the same tiers like these two, right? Where they're really powerful, but they're not the carries of the team. They're going to be really solid options that are going to sit in slot 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. You could put them in slot 1 if you want. It's not going to work out, but you could do it, right? I think they're definitely better than Tech Jiren. I think they're definitely better than Vegito. I think they're probably better. They're easily better than Blue Blue Kaoken. They're better than Broly China Demo. I think Tech Broly, I could see the argument there because Tech Broly, he does have one turn where he's really weak. And then after that, he's this mode is just Jesus. This guy can't die, but he's doing so much goddamn damage. It's really hard for that to happen. So I could see an argument for them over Tech Broly if you were the fact that they're surviving better than Tech Broly. I think that makes sense. But I think they're pretty good. I think out of the two of them, they're probably the better one for sure. So that's kind of my thoughts. But we'll have to kind of wait and see until they're actually in game for us to actually get a feel of that. And of course, Global Dokkan didn't tweet them because Global Dokkan is not incompetent. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about the two EZA LRs in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.